Greetings and welcome to Two Balls and a Mic as Chiva lowers the volume on my headphones. We are here on a Monday, another rainy Monday. There's too many of these. We're going to go ahead and start with our wrap-up of this week. We had a pretty cool week over at the San Diego Soccer, San Diego Loyal. San Diego Wave also played in the preseason. We'll talk about that. We'll have Alan Underwood with Two Balls Underwood coming in talking about that 3-0 victory against the rivals Phoenix. Over this past weekend, Ronaldo Damas, we actually heard what it's called, and another player whose pronunciation was actually wrong after that San Diego Loyal game. We're also going to go ahead and talk about a little bit of Champions League, a little bit of, I guess, World Baseball Classic. It just ended, Mexico just got kicked out.
Yeah.
Damn. We also had Clasico, the Clásicos, our Clásicos, Chivas América. We also had El Clásico. Barcelona versus Real Madrid. Real Madrid team that obviously showing those weaknesses that Chelsea will definitely exploit.
Oh, ya vas a empezar, güey.
In the Champions League.
No manches.
We want to say hello, everybody. You good there, buddy? What's wrong?
Yeah, I can't hear myself for some reason. I think it's this thing.
Oh, man. Maybe you need to connect a little more technical difficulties, boy. It's all good. Just stop it right there.
I hear you now.
Sometimes.
Loud and clear.
All right, so start it over again.
Looks like we need a new roadcaster, you know?
Cállate. What are you doing?
It's like,
Cállese.
we need to invest in one.
Stop.
Cállame, a ver. Me avientas algo.
I was looking for something to throw at you, actually. I remove stuff just because I tend to be violent against you. But
all the time, dude. It's like,
we're also going to start our San Diego Internacional commentary. As one starts, one ends. San Diego Soccer's 2 is over. Our commentary job for that
yes, it is.
Has ended. Just to give you a little heads up, they didn't do so hot. They were
they
champions.
did not. I'm trying to fix it.
So cool.
I fixed it.
That was so cool. It stayed on you. No, it stayed on your thing, and then you moved it. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and just, give a little insight on that. We've had some rain, and our cameras are,
Not waterproof.
Not waterproof. So it's very interesting kind of learning, like, what the other people do down on the field over at Torero, like, when it's raining and it's pouring. You see everything from a plastic bag to anything from a plastic bag to literally a shirt. You got me some, what's that? Samosas?
Samosas? I think samosas, right?
From the best place to eat there at the West African food. And then you use the bag to cover the camera because,
We're ghetto, that's why.
She's mexicanadas, güey.
Raza, güey.
Like, that's what we do, bro.
Raza,
boy.
Raza,
Talking about
wey.
Raza, I saw the boy, Emo Brown. Shout out Emo Brown.
He made it to a game.
Recorded the goal from the stands.
Highly illegal. Alejandro Guido.
Shout out to you. Saludos. Ese vato le vale madre. May have dropped, a little nugget of like, hey, stop by studio at some point. So we'll hopefully get that in. So it was a jam-packed, was it Sunday? Sunday, right? San Diego Soccer's 2 at 12.
Yes, that was
commentated
Sunday.
For 2 hours.
Last night,
early game kickoff. It's been a day.
It has been.
That's okay. You're in the office all day.
Oh, see, I'm in the office all day.
Your legs
shut
up.
The fuck up.
You have your little Keurig machine, just
shut
keeping
up,
you
dude.
nice and warm.
Yeah, of course
I'm telling you, dude. Like, the doctor called and he's concerned about you.
Doctor. Tony, by the way, in that Soccer's 2 match, had one of the best freaking calls for a goal that was not for the Soccer.
It was against the Soccer. Yeah, I mean,
Soccer.
Most of the goals this season in the Soccer's 2 game has been.
If you've ever watched an Empire Strikers match, they have a commentator, the commentary team.
El Doctor.
And when they score, the guy goes, Doctor.
Well, that's Philly. Yeah, Philly says, Doctor, give me the news. So if you know MASL, if you've seen a game or two here and there, you know exactly what we're talking about.
So what did you do?
So I just looked at
Jets scores on Soccer's 2.
Yeah. So we're actually skipping a little bit because we had Friday too, where we actually
Spanish commentary.
Spanish.
Yes,
we can't forget that. Yeah. Which I actually have queued up. But yeah, I just said Doctor Chiva. Give me the news, which got a standing ovation
Yes.
by Craig.
He gave you a
Elston,
hats off.
and just tip of the cap. And I was like, wow, that's great. That's huge. But yeah, I mean, that's that season. We are starting commentary for UPSL.
Day ones. Inter's day ones, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And Coach Alex, the founder of this UPSL team, is currently doing surgery on my car to investigate whether my car
Doctor,
stopped.
what's wrong with my car? Tell me the
Give
news.
me the news.
I'm sorry your car broke down. That freaking
The
sucks.
motor died. It just didn't want to turn on. It's the motor, like I already know. So,
It's a couple
if you got a car, I might just start like this is it. This is where I start two balls into Mike's first GoFundMe for a two balls mobile.
This is not going to be the first GoFundMe. No.
Come on.
No, stop being selfish.
You got a lot out of that car too. You had 9 months without a car, and
I'll let you
rode
borrow my bike.
nice and pretty. I did. I could have let you borrow a bike from here too, and I didn't. Like,
well, that's on you. Fuck you for not letting me borrow that bike.
What
man.
a terrible individual you have become to me. Like,
you can afford
what
a car.
have I
You're
done?
rich.
What
You
have
got
I ever
hella
done
money.
to you? What have I ever done to you? Like, you're just.
You
you're
know
acting.
how people have childhood trauma.
Yeah.
I have current trauma because of you. It's been 3 years of trauma. My
fault is
therapist said,
Whose fault is that?
your freaking fault, man. Like,
And I want to shout out everybody's season's greetings to Midori Kazumi. Not very much a fan of Japanese names right now, as Shohei Ohtani was the one to start the rally.
say the line, Tony.
Oh, not that one?
Not that one.
Viva Mexico, cabrones. Papi Chavo, man. I hate it when we're losing. What does it say?
And Philly does that.
Doctor.
Doctor call. Yeah, dude.
Don't worry. It's when they're losing. It's when you're winning. I was like, oh no, this is where we're at.
No, we're fine.
Um,
But yeah, so Friday we had our third Spanish call up.
call up.
Commentary. Yeah.
All right.
Spanish. Yeah, we made it.
We got called
We got
up to the
called
big
up, man.
leagues.
Yeah, it is the big leagues. MASL.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So we got to do a Spanish commentary again for a very, very fun game to watch. They were down 3-0 at half, which, I mean, it's a little nerve-wracking, but you called it at halftime. You said, they're going to come back, man.
Yeah,
They're going
to do it. Like, they were uninspired in that first half. We've seen San Diego Sockers just be complacent and just, not play the soccer that we know how they know how to play. And it was just a matter of time before they turned on, the boosties. I fucking love this. That's exactly like Nick. I'll shout it out right now. But yeah, so that Friday, we had the game, and it was a good turnout. Was that Cowboy Day? No, Sunday was Cowboy Day. And I mean, I let my hair down. You ever heard that? You ever heard that saying in Spanish? Me dejé caer el pelo?
No.
Or in English too, like you let my hair down.
Not even in English.
Well, you don't know a lot of.
I don't speak English or Spanish.
But yeah. So talk about the game a little bit more before I pull it up.
Yeah, no, so they're down 3-0, and in the third quarter, that's when we start. You know what, dude? I will walk out and leave right now.
The people have been wanting that for a
I know.
while. They've requested. I've had a submission box.
I'll have you now.
Yeah, no, and people have suggested, hey, for years actually.
For years.
You know that guy across from you, next to you sometimes in the first 110 episodes where we faced you guys?
That was weird.
That was.
Maybe we should go back to it.
Maybe for a day.
Pero qué hueva mover la mesita.
Que hueva. We're just waiting for a couple people to come in. Alan Underwood will be here.
If he's not in the chat already, probably.
He's always in the chat.
He's always in the chat. Alan's everywhere. Anyways, they were down 3-0, and we get the first goal. Then we get a second goal.
Oh, wow. What? Goals? From who? From where?
You know from who?
From who?
Craig Chalice ends up scoring.
Okay.
Oliveira ends up scoring. Like,
Okay.
Everyone started scoring.
Okay.
I think it was Oliveira that scored the volea and just pinche golazo. Like, I love a good volley. I know you do too. And we also had our friend Andres joining us on commentary.
Andres over, who
Big
does
shout
commentary for Utica City, came on down with some costarricense flavor. That was pretty cool. So shout out to Andres, who I definitely did not forget his name in front of his face a couple times. And I told him, like, and where can they find you, Andres? And then, because I forgot his first, he has 2 last names put together. Andres Javier. Jaime. Andres Jaime, some costarricense. Follow him. Local dude, too. Local dude. He's from Solana, maybe. He's from the area over in Utica, playing some soccer and doing color commentary for their side over there. In any case, trying to pull this up. Before then, they also had the San Diego Loyal unveiling, the ribbon cutting of the Lincoln Acres over-under initiative, Las Canchitas, the goals that they have.
Which is dope.
Really cool. Got out there. Definitely did terribly, actually. My worst performance in a while. And it was the picture did not do the terror that I caused that field. Here's the picture.
Malita madre, güey, neta?
Yeah, no, I was ass. But, the picture looks cool. Shout out to Bridge Barcata, Carl. Shout out to Carl. Shout out to El Buen Paul Nathan Naku. Shout out to, I know, Tony. Other Tony also involved in Chicano futsal. Drew. Everybody just pretty much started that movement because this is what you get in little events like this. You can tell, because it was the city of San Diego, I had to clear that up a couple times where they're like, oh, National City, Joe Corona, Marcus Bush, Councilman Marcus Bush for National City was there, and we have this in great National Lincoln Acres is not National City. It's an unincorporated area, and it wishes it can be a national city, much like much of the county wishes they can be national city. At the end of the day, you can't be national city. Chula Vista? Chula Risa, güey. No mames.
Oh, cállate los hocico ahorita,
Come on now. Come on. You want to be
Yeah. I
city.
wish I would live in Nasty City.
Okay, fool. Okay, why are you getting 2
Cool.
in and outs now? Come on. We had the OG one. We already know. At Comic-Con, everybody stays in National City because hotels are cheap by division.
Yeah, because they're fucking nasty.
And cheap. Much like the... That's actually where I broke down.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Of course you did.
But
yeah, so the San Diego Sockers.
So this is the call right here where they were there.
This was the winning goal by Oliveira.
No winning goal. What do you mean winning goal?
Oh, it was the 4-3, like to la
Not a winning
remontada.
goal. Oh, is that what you said, boy? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, let's hear it. Andres there.
Del bar, más bien. Ahí está. Aquí viene, ¡qué gol! ¡Gol!
El bailecito y todo.
Leonardo
G. Oliveira. El brasileiro. Un golazo. It wasn't golazo. Golazo. That pass from Craig is actually underratedly nasty.
Dude, that's what, yeah.
Like,
Look at that.
he doesn't swing it like
No,
a club.
he chipped it a little bit, yeah.
He chips it, but...
Oh, the official ball. That's disrespectful. You don't do that.
It is, but you know what? The Greg Khali destroyed that guy here in San Diego in that very arena, and it was traumatic to me. So he gets the ball here instead of... Oh, the boy?
You're welcome.
Gets the boy here. That's why we're a team. So the ball here, what makes it so incredible isn't that he hits it like a club this way. He effectively runs to it, and then with the top of his foot...
Like a chop.
Chops at it, giving it this spin, and it floats
Perfectly.
exactly where he needs to. Just watch this again.
Director técnico de Montebanderín de revisión del bar.
Like he just chops at it, and it doesn't go. It just it floats to him. Like it's a great goal by Leo and everything, and followed us, retweeted us, and reshared us on Instagram. But the technique that Craig has and uses is just outstanding.
Yeah, right there.
I got it. El brasileiro. Háblame, Chiva. That was cool. The other goals were pretty cool. Again, it's really cool. Cool. To do commentary for the San Diego Sockers. I really want to say, thank you for letting us, do this as a little side quest. But it's not even a side quest. It's our main quest right now, and we want to give respect to everybody who does this, because it's not easy. It's not easy at all. What they do, and we're trying to do in that same vein. I'm actually going to be doing commentary once again up in Calafino. I'm not sure if there'll be more information. Check out Soccer's Overtime tomorrow at 5 p.m. on twitch.tv/San Diego Soccers. Soccer's Overtime with the Craig Elson and Jerry Jimenez. If there's more information about the Calafino Sublimit Lounge, if they're going to have a watch party, which is just going to be him and I, the 23rd Sunday.
26th
Sunday. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
it'll be, I was going to do it.
I know you were.
I was going to do it.
You were.
I was about to. Yeah.
Qué culero eres.
Yeah. So more information to come on that, but the San Diego Soccers 2 is over. And thank God, because we weren't the only ones. Like, other people within were just like, oh, thank you.
Gracias.
Like, I don't have to do this. I don't have to try.
It was just a bad season. They did not play well.
It was not okay.
But yeah, so you have that on Sunday, and then Saturday, April 1st, on the last home game of the season. It's going to be fan appreciation night, so you definitely should check it out. It's going to be at 7:05 p.m. And we're going to be doing Spanish commentary for the last game of the season, and then we're going to be continuing to playoffs. Officially on the MESL website, they have the San Diego Soccers clinching first place, number one in the league, clinch division as well.
Yeah, so they win the Supporter Shield after yesterday's match against Empire Strikers. There's really the worst enemy for the San Diego. It would be the San Diego Soccers at this point. So hopefully everything continues.
Yeah,
Papi Chavo will get himself a ring for everything he's done for the supporters group. Supporter culture. Like, again, we'll give credit where credit is due. We'll also be critical. Like, I will say, and this is something we'll bring up with Chelas and Chavos tomorrow. It'll be posted later on in the week, but there's way too many people just standing. Like, it's always been an issue. Standing and
but keep people from
and talking
from the supporter section, just standing.
Yeah. And just if you're watching the game, go to another section.
Yeah,
because that's especially if you're in the front couple of rows.
True.
Because that just doesn't look good. And I've had a couple conversations with people about that, and I hope that does get changed. And I know that there's been talks and discussions, and it's always like, well, what do we do? Maybe we put the drums in the front, maybe we put the drums in the middle. We'll get into that with Chelas con Chavos. So expect that if you guys have anything to kind of join on that. But just let's go. Like, it's good. It's the rain is fun. Have a great time. But
from year four at Loyal, and it's always been the expectation that if you're on 109, you're jumping, you're celebrating.
We've been singing.
We both of us been there.
Singing, chanting. Like, I should hear people. I shouldn't hear Presidente Steve when I'm on the other side, just alone. Yeah, he's loud. But that's one of the voices that is just piercing
for
through.
Sure.
Yeah. So shout out there, and then.
So Sunday we do soccer too, and then we're like, this game needs to be over because we got to head over to Torero. Yeah. So we head over to Torero. You forget a camera in my car.
Yes.
Go back.
Not only that, my girl was like, "Are you sure you have everything from this deceased car that's about to be just checked?"
What do you forget too?
My fucking credentials for Soccers
that's
and
not a
Land
problem
Loyal.
anymore. Like,
no, it was because
security. There was new people there at security.
100%.
New freaking people. And Jason got it for Alan and I trying to go down to the field, and the guy says, "Nope, you cannot go.
In the name of the king.
You have field level. Field level has to stay up here." And I said, no, that's why we have the vests. Because with the vest, we can go to the field.
By the way, I forgot the the cars in this.
Sí,
And
sí.
yes, I called the only tow station called Loyal in San Diego. So thank you, San Diego Loyal, for that assist. Didn't even know they had it. But yeah, so this is what you're talking about, where you and Alan get stopped. Can I get a security check? Oh, we got two guys claiming that they got field nexus. And what you don't see is me actually like 5 minutes earlier, getting my stick-on San Diego Loyal credential.
Sí, güey.
Walking up and down the hill. I got it, but on the outside, and then I was trying to go through there, and then my boy there is like, no, yours says venue. You gotta say it has to say field, and so I'm like, all right, hey, worker that knows me, is this? And he was really busy, so I'm like, all right, cool, you're doing your thing, 100%. Like I wouldn't want people bothering me while I'm working. Go over to the front, leave my water bottle there, forget it the whole game. And they give me my stick on, says field. Come back, I'm like, great.
That'd be nice. Ours said venue the season 1, but I told the guy, hey man, like we were here last week and we were down there. He said, well, no, they told me field venue has to stay up here. I said, cool. Is there anyone you can call? Because we've been coming for the past 3 years.
Yeah. And that was your reaction. And that seems a little egotistical and a little selfish of the way that you're coming off right now. So the way I handled that was I looked at him, and then I walked down. I'm like, you know what? What's that guy's name up there? Oh, so-and-so. He's doing a good job. He asked me for this and this and this. He was eagle-eye. He saw this. He questioned it, but he's doing his job. He's checking it. So
Fuck that.
nah.
Nah.
That's disgusting from you. Oh.
You guy.
Why can't you be like Alan? Look at him.
Alan was pissed too.
Nah, that's not pissed. Look at him. Happy S&B. Hello.
Alan's always very bubbly. He was a little upset at the press conference. But we'll hear his thoughts on that when he joins.
Definitely get his thoughts.
I love Alan. Oh my gosh, he'll be joining soon. But yeah, man, like the game was good though, but we'll talk about it once Alan gets here. There was mariachi at Torero again.
Hold on, time out.
What?
I've been called out here. And we're that critique. If you admit that the shirt that you wore yesterday was lame, that's the first time somebody has had the courage to tell me that my open shirt Hawaiian button ups are terrible. And you know what? I see that.
They told you your shirt was bad? Damn.
What are you not reading? What are you not
Cálmate.
reading?
Cálmate.
What are you not
Cálmate
reading?
la verga,
What are you not
Cálmate.
reading?
Cálmate. 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 Cálmate, nena. Tranquila. Tranquila. Ya sé que perdió México. Relax.
Get it on your head.
Just break the whole studio.
you
Es que
so
está
much,
chueco, güey. Está chueco y tenemos que arreglar.
Yeah, somebody told us that our shit is chueco.
There's no way
¿Sabes qué?
165
No.
people fit in here.
Cuando andas así, la verdad, se te pone choca la vida.
Sí, la neta.
Yeah, Alicia agrees. Security on the north side wouldn't let me step 2 feet over past them to take a photo of our son walking out with the players. You should have told him to subscribe to 2 Balls and a Mic next time. We grabbed Happy Meals from our boys on the Escondido, and the guy who brought them out of the car saw us wearing loyal kits. Said, "Hey, I followed them on Instagram. How was today's game?" I mean, some things are hitting, some things are a little off. I don't understand. I mean, you know what? I don't want to be ignorant, like not you, but others. Just pointing in your general, you just happen to be there.
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry, and I'll give you that one. You know, I expect better Hawaiian shirts from Tony. You know, this is part. The next iteration.
Sorry, Walmart didn't have
right?
a better freaking
The
line.
Walmart collection is coming up. I'm gonna wear one just for you, procrastinating Puma, just for you. And I need to see you in person, and I need you to show your face.
What you don't know is that after the episode, he's gonna be like, "Damn, dude, I gotta buy cooler shirts now." Procrastinating Puma.
I mean,
like,
maybe I
he's
should
gonna
go.
be stressing, and now he's gonna have anxiety because of you.
Maybe I should
Thank
go.
you. Thanks
no
a lot.
Shirt. Next time.
Shirtless? No, way. They take your credential away. No. It's okay. That's un guapo.
I just have to prove it to you know.
Está bien, güey. Al rato te pegue también. No te agüites.
It's okay.
You guys, Alan said you guys in a different Zoom?
No, Alan. It's not 8:30 yet. And I haven't opened the Zoom, to be completely honest.
Get him on.
You're here. But yeah, so talking about being hit with a punch of reality, we were kind of. It's our LAFC.
We're honest at 2 balls in a mic.
LAFC.
We're honest here.
Was the first soccer team to deny us season-long credentials. You know what? We don't cover the team as much. You know what?
We don't
We're
live
not in LA. You know what? That's fair. That's 100%. You know, it's the journey.
MLS.
So kind of like, but we've been credentialed for other things, single game. Okay, cool.
Makes sense. A season-long credential. Makes sense. Cool.
We'll get into it a little bit later, a little bit more, maybe tomorrow when we talk to Ryan at Young the Ryan, coming in for San Diego Football Weekly, second episode. So thank you for everybody who watched that one. I see you, Alan. Te veo. But yeah, so let me get him here. But yeah, we were denied season-long credentials for San Diego Wave. Is that Wave denying you again? Is that what you're looking at?
That was Wave denying us again.
But we'll get into that. I'm sure, 100% sure, we'll get into the games, every single game, as we have been for San Diego Wave. I don't think we've missed a game for San Diego Wave. We haven't missed a game.
You've missed one.
I've missed. Two balls at a mic has not missed a game.
Two balls at a mic.
Two balls at a mic has not missed a game.
We will April 1st.
No, we won't. We will make it happen. Two balls and a mic will be present. But that's something else. That's San Diego Wave. They are still in preseason. The ones that are in season is San Diego Loyal, as they have. I know that you like that transition, Alan. I see you nodding. But yeah, San Diego Loyal is in season, and those seasons are coming to roost. 3-0 at home. We'll get into it with the bearded, the upset one. The Rock used to say, you're going to go one-on-one with the great one. We're about to go one-on-one with the upset one, Alan Underwood. Alan, hi.
Hi.
Hi, Alan.
And we have some feelings here on today's pod for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But, hey.
Whoa, hey.
I see you a little bit more comfortable, relaxed shoulders. You're back in town. You're staying in town. You're not in Orange County right now.
I'm in San Diego, not Riverside. I was never in Orange County.
Yeah, Riverside,
just
dude.
Riverside.
Potato.
So if you hear a dog in the background, don't be surprised because they are here. So
and I'm glad they still are there. I love those puppies.
Ollie, 18-year-old, did have to go to the vet, so he's doing all right. He's still spunky, but he is definitely in diapers these days. But no, I mean,
no.
Yeah, because we're not sure he always knows he's not outside anymore, and so we gotta, he gets little diapers from now and again. Don't worry, they're cute. We have like ones that you can wash.
Oh, they're reusable.
They have like sharks on them. Yeah, they're adorable.
Are these made for dogs?
Yeah. No, they're not like human diapers that we put on dogs. No, they're like made for dogs. Because then like poop in the house. Mm-hmm. He just sometimes isn't really sure if he's making it all the way outside or not, and then pees. So we got him some diapers.
I heard my friend co-host over here also poops a lot. Maybe we can get him some designer underwear.
I do too.
Yeah.
Somebody who
did
so
it. I was very chipper when being stopped by a security guard. I mean, he was just doing his job, right?
Mad.
Like
he's doing his job, bro.
Doing his job.
And Alan, did I not say that? I get it. He's doing his job.
Yeah,
but the guy's new.
We were mad, and then saw we were being filmed, and so I'm always self-conscious when I'm filmed, so I just like waved. Like, hi.
You literally do a vlog with us being filmed, and you jump in
It's
there.
different. It's different when it's like intentional. Like when people are filming me in the wild and I have no control over it, I get a little, and so just wanted to wave.
Well, this is what you get. You joined, San Diego Punto Futbol's very own 2 balls and a mic. So I mean, it's part of it, and now we get to see you just waving. Like, oh, look at this guy. Like you're having a grand old time here.
I was like, we weren't missing anything important, right? Like. If it was like in the middle of the game, I think I would have been a little bit more perturbed. It was like before the game started. We weren't really missing anything. The guy was going to figure it out. Like Chiva had it under control. He was like, let me talk to your supervisor. And I was like, I don't have the haircut for that, so I can't pull a Karen.
I can't believe you pulled a let me talk to your supervisor.
No, I did not say supervisor, Alan. I did not say that. You lying motherflower. I said, is there someone you can call?
Yeah. He was like, you need to check on it. And it's like, there were some new people. Like, he didn't know. It's fine.
I see you don't value your job, sir. Whoa.
What did I do?
Fine.
Like, okay, I did.
Whoa.
I did. Me pasé de lanza. When you said, like, I went by, hey, what's that guy's name? He's doing a great job. Where did I go when I passed by the supervisor, our Fred? I'm like, man, fuck that security. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, man, that security was giving us a rough time up there.
That's crazy because he literally lost his job right after. So there you go, Chiva. Hope you're very okay with that.
We need our boy back. What was his name?
Johannes.
We need Johannes back in
From that
security. Damn it.
From that first game.
He picked up someone's phone. Alan? Was it Alan's phone? No,
it was Jerry's phone.
Jerry's phone. Save someone's phone.
Yeah. King Ryan will be back. Abel says, LAFC understandable, but wave Mendigos. Don't worry, we'll still make it onto the game.
Mendigos / us.
Mendigas. Even if we have to buy season tickets. Hey.
Got that conjugation there going on.
Right.
And
yes.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, so I was pretty cheerful most of the match.
I mean, there was a lot to cheer for, to be cheerful. San Diego Loyal defeating 3-0 their rivals.
Sure, I guess.
This Clasico?
I
time? I mean, Alan, you've seen this league longer than most of anybody in San Diego. And if you say you've seen it longer, you're fucking lying.
There are people. I mean, there are people who watched USL before I started watching USL. I mean, this one's tough, right? Like,
are they as smart as you? Oh, he agrees.
Yes. I mean, if we're like, if I had to like name like if we had to name names, like DK Aniwo is both more intelligent and has been watching USL for longer. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like that guy is like. One of the reasons why I watch USL is because DK Aniwo, right? If we're gonna like drop some names but he is admittedly out of the USL game as far as paying attention to it as much as he used to. So I will carry on that torch for him. No, I mean, rivalries are so hard, right? Because they need history, and like there is history there with Phoenix, but with such a huge turnover. Like, I don't think the players really felt anything, right? It was Loyal wants to go out because it's another 3 points against a good team, and Phoenix is a good team and they want to win. Phoenix is trying to establish their identity, and so they're trying to go out and impose their will on San Diego, not because it's San Diego, but because it's Phoenix who, you know, for the first time since their rebrand, didn't make the playoffs. Like, this is a team that's trying to reestablish dominance. And so they want to beat a team that's like an up-and-comer, right? Like, you are, you know, an old guard, and here's this upstart, you know, young kid. You want to beat them and put them in their place, right? And they've done that in the past, right? Let's be honest. And so I think if there was a rivalry brewing, like you would say Orange County for, like, you know, the fact that they're just down the street, and you know, I would put Phoenix in there as one that continues to grow. I think the other issue is Phoenix has history with other teams before San Diego, so they probably feel like San Diego's their little brother. So we'll see. I think it's a budding rivalry. We can call it that.
Okay,
but
my short answer.
Like you say, little brother. The little brother always wants to match the big brother's energy and surpass the big brother eventually, right? And that's what Loyal have been doing. Every season they've gotten significantly better. But I don't know. Do you guys want to look at the lineup real quick and just talk about, because there were some big changes?
Yeah, so let's do that real quick. Our lineup, as you said, had some alterations, and this is the second solo mission, I guess, for Nate Miller, where the first one is like, all right, you know, you had some pieces missing, and you had no way of playing Guido, no way of playing Stoneman. You add Ronaldo, and let's get this right, guys, Damus is on fire. We don't need no fire. Let the motherfucking burn. Yeah.
Follow the leader.
All right.
Enjoy your
All
song, 109.
Yeah, there you go. You're welcome.
There you go.
You're welcome.
I mean,
It's that
until
easy.
otherwise
Now it's
noted,
free.
right? We were calling Collier until after the match, and he was like, "It's Collier, but with a New Zealand accent." I was like,
Collier.
Collier.
If we can get a
Collier.
pronunciation guide in the comments by Nick Duffy for that, just
Collier.
spell it out. It was really cool that, by the way, that Loyal let everybody, literally everybody, access the match notes. And now you kind of see what what a package like that looks like. Let me tell you, other teams don't look that good, don't look that professional. I will tell you one team, and this is spilling the tea. Stupid. Oakland Roots literally has a Google Doc. They just send it.
Yeah, they do.
It gets the point done, but just the attention to detail to that. So, all right, let's talk about this lineup. You have Koke Vega starting, Stoneman, Ebby, Bodley, Kyle Adams. Stop right there. Already something different, right? You have Stoneman back, so he's cemented in the middle. Some people were asking, is he going to be playing on the side? Was Abby going to be in the middle? Kyle played in the middle. Like, what's his role going to be? Is he going to play the whole match because he has to take a plane over to New Zealand because he, got called up for the national team? But Blake Bodley with the number 7, I guess, taking the spot, would you say, of Elijah Martin, guys?
Pretty much, right? Elijah played at the right wing back position the first game, and you moved Nick Moon to that side, and you played Bodley on the left wing back position essentially. And I mean, he didn't do that bad of a job. He got himself a goal. He played great. But yeah, essentially started over Elijah, which is a big surprise for a lot of people.
It was unfortunate just because I did see the Elijah banners in the stands and the trapo that they had for him.
Maybe Bodley will get some banners.
But, I mean, very interesting to see that pre-match. Alan, what were your thoughts when you saw Elijah not on the bench? Excuse me, on the bench instead of Bodley?
Yeah, I mean, it was a surprise, right? Like when you think about the classic Phoenix games where you needed to put an offensive player in a defensive player's pocket, like Elijah Martin was that guy, right? Whether it was Santi Moar or it was Solomon Asante before, like you could count on Elijah Martin essentially eliminating that threat and making Phoenix, less multi-dimensional. And then you made the strikers beat you, and they had some inconsistent strikers. And so you take that gamble, right? And so when Phoenix is coming in, you would think that that's Elijah Martin's like number one job is to put Phoenix in his pocket. I think maybe the tactical setup being different from Phoenix makes that a little bit like less of a game for Elijah Martin. But it was kind of surprising not to see his name there, to be frank. Like at the beginning of the game, it's like, okay, Bodley, let's see what you got. But I was almost floored. Like if I would have wrote the starting 11, Elijah Martin would be one of the first ones.
And obviously Elijah is a scratch there. Continuing on with that lineup, you have Charlie Adams, Capitan Charlie, Nick Moon, Joe Corona, Guido making his return, Tumi Moshabani. And then with the 9 up on top, you have the new number 9, Evan Conway. Going in here, it was like, all right, obviously you have to make some sort of adjustments when it comes to the players that are incoming. On top of that, you have the bench, right? So you have one name is Ronaldo. I think we're just going to call him Ronaldo. Is that okay with you? Is that okay with everybody? He already took the
Ronaldo. Yeah. Let's use Ronaldo.
Sure.
Yeah, like it's yeah, and I think he would enjoy it. Who are you looking for?
Bodley. He's not on here.
He's not on here. We'll just pretend.
And Ronaldo.
Yeah, we need to update the 2 balls and a mic. What is this? What are we calling it? Telestrator.
Yeah. Gotta update it.
There, Telestrator. Yeah, we need to update that. But in any case, I think the adjustments paid dividends at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. The decisions were made. I actually talked with Nate Miller at training on Friday, and I asked him, so like, what's the move going forward? Like, are you okay in your mind right now who you're going forward with? He did tell me like hey, what you saw here, you keep your pretty little mouth shut, because if I see this on socials, he didn't say it like this. If I see this on socials, this whole access thing might get cut off. You never know. Didn't say it just like that, but that's how it was. Obviously having that
Okay. Nate Miller. Oh, he's absolutely right.
having that confidence with him, because I guess.
He's the main reason Loyal sometimes don't put stuff out, because he specifically doesn't want to give stuff out. But yeah, so Guido back in the lineup. Did you guys like Guido in this game? Numero DS.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he had a pretty solid game back. He was up in the press, which is good to see. He was direct with the ball. That's what you want. It's the other thing, right? Guido gets space, he's going to drive at the back line. And I thought it opened up some tactical nuance to what we've been seeing in the past, right? This is a slightly different setup with a slightly different approach to the match.
A high level.
Oh boy. And it was going to be a different shape altogether, right? Because you don't really know what Phoenix has. It's very early in the season, and I think you alluded to this earlier, Chiva, when we were prepping for the show, is you have this great performance, 2 clean sheets back to back. You have a different team with Detroit, a different team with Phoenix, a Phoenix team that's very dangerous and honestly probably deserved to get a goal at the end of the day. A 3-0 is great on paper, but I've seen a lot of, and this will be the official communication, this is how it was on the press release from the team, San Diego Loyal remains undefeated. It's the second game, guys. Mm-hmm. It's 2 games. And I think there's a lot of chit-chatter of look, this team is really good on paper and on the field for 2 games. Are we really going to start saying this is the team, the elite team? It's a long season. At the end of the day, look at what happened last year. Do you really want to judge the San Diego Loyal team based on the first 2 games? Because if we based them on the first 4 games and we were giving them crap over and over again for starting 0-4, are we really going to just flip the script and just be delusional and be 2-0, 2 clean sheets? Or is that fair at this point? Alan, I see you thinking. Is it too much too early?
I think looking back and kind of re-examining this game, I think there is reason to celebrate, right? We saw a Loyal team that had less than 40% possession. We had a Loyal team that had 7 of their 10 shots on target, 3 of them being goals. We saw a Loyal team that responded to Phoenix very intelligently. Phoenix had a good game, but Loyal knew how to exploit the weaknesses, right? And getting into the question with Nate Miller, my question wasn't to be ha, you sucked before. It was the approach was really smart to close out the space that you would think, right? Danny Trejo did not look threatening for most of the match. He had some moments of brilliance, yes, but nothing came of it. You weren't being oh, Danny Trejo, in the past, right? Danny Trejo or a Ronaldo from Orange County would always nick a goal on a counter. They would always get caught out. It never really felt like that was gonna happen. And when it did, Coque Vegas was up to the task this time. And they played a game where they didn't dominate possession, but they were able to get a win. And so I think that's something to be happy with, is that there is a we're not going to hold possession for possession's sake. We're going to be direct with our attacks. As soon as they got the ball, they drove at Phoenix and it tried to exploit the space, right? And so instead of being exploited, they were turning the page. And I think that's hopeful against a team. What we saw with Oakland was able to do last year is maybe they're not going to be able to do that, right? Nate Miller took a look at it and said, we got to figure out how to solve this weakness of the 3-back system. And they really plugged some of those holes, the Corona Charlie Adams kind of 8/6s was really smart. That allowed Guido and Toomey the freedom to be kind of these playmaker, distributor, put defenses under attack. And then you had Nick Moon, who is Nick Moon, right? Like, he looked really nice, bodily on the other side, took his chances to move up. And then they put Phoenix under pressure. And if you look at when teams are their weakest, it's when they turn the ball over. And that first goal, it was Charlie Adams being a distributor in the middle. And then there was Toomey on one side, I think Nick Moon on the other, and the 3-man back line for Phoenix had to spread out to cover all of the players, and it left Conway like brilliantly in this moment of space. And so Phoenix had to respect, and there was just so much space because there wasn't that fourth back. And so if you look, pause right here, like when Conway receives that ball, like, you have this kind of 4-man-ish back line, but they're having to keep track of these 5 guys in each of like in the middle, the half spaces, and the wings. Like, you see those 4 guys across the front, and I think Nick Moon is over here too. And so it just pulls the defenders apart, and Conway just sits right there in the middle with tons of space. And he's either going to get fouled in the box. Yeah, see, Nick Moon's over, or yeah, I think that's Nick Moon. Yeah. So there's 5 guys for 4 people, and you have an overload. And so they have to spread out. And then Conway really smartly sits in the middle. Like I said, he accepts that ball, turns it to the inside. He either has to get fouled for a penalty, or he's in on one-on-one on the keeper. It was just really smart.
Yeah, and then not only that, right? Tony mentioned to me something during the game, which honestly had me like thinking a little bit. I said, well, Joe Corona, like, no se escucha, like, you don't hear his name. And he told me, you know what? It's a position. It's not a position where if you're going to hear his name constantly, and I think a lot of people kind of expect that, right? Like, where you're going to hear Joe Corona's names often, and that's not the case. His position is, the less you hear his name, the better, technically. So you get pointed out, and I say, you know what? You're right.
Busquets is a name people know just because he's been there for so long. But it's a name. Not that I'm comparing exactly Joe Corona to Busquets necessarily, but it's that position.
Different roles essentially too.
Yeah, it's that position where he doesn't have to score every game. He doesn't have to be mentioned. He doesn't have to be at the tip of the tongue for Sal Zenzo, who was back in commentary. Shout out to Sal, who did fantastic on commentary. But I mean, it's really a role that always goes unspoken, and until he does something where it's incredibly, he's incredibly important in the defensive roles and just keeps stopping the attack, the attack of the other team, or just playing in transition, playing a really good pass, or even scoring a goal. His job on the field is literally just to kind of be a stopper. Like, he's just there at times, and not necessarily like when he's not that he's not doing anything. He's just doing his job. And I think that's, for me, even in general in life, I like somebody who's just consistent in doing their job. Like, just do your job, do your role, and that's all you need to take care of. So I think that's where, people who pay attention to the game, especially in the midfield and the shape, that freedom that it allows Charlie even to go up. Nate was talking about it, where he was saying that, he was playing a lot on his other foot, and we asked a lot of him, and he succeeded, and he did very well, practiced at training specifically for that. Mm-hmm. But it's that confidence that you get in the defensive way with Joe Corona there, and that presence that at the end of the day, like, if you fuck up, you lose a ball, you're going to have to track back, and that's usually Charlie's role. He doesn't have Colin there right now, but Joe is just as good, and, filling it well.
If not better.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
But I do want to point out also, I very much think Loyal dominated in the second half due to Nate Miller's substitutions. Like, I think the way they played out were very significant, to the point that where you make 3 subs at once, which I'm typically not a fan of. I don't know if you guys are a fan of 3 subs at once, but it worked out, right? You bring Ronaldo in, you brought in Colin Martin, and you also brought in Collier. And by the way, Collier, who just had a hell of a game when he came in as well. He wasn't the main focal point on top, but he was kind of playing essentially like a false 9.
Yeah. Well, and just to kind of give a little bit of color to this too, as well, is that I really enjoyed the referee just letting everybody play in the first couple minutes. The referee let them feel each other out. Wasn't a perfect outing for the crew whatsoever, but in the beginning, you really shrug. But this referee allowed both teams to get in there, be physical. And I think that's the most edgy, just like ready to go, like to me, I've seen in a while in the first 20 minutes where he was losing balls. He was going in for the ball very strongly and was getting it cleanly too. But I think he kind of ran out of steam and just ran out of the creative outlets for him just weren't there. And we've seen Tumi Moshabani for, a couple of years now. He takes that extra touch at times. He takes another dribble that he doesn't need to, or he overthinks himself. Mm-hmm. And that just kind of corners him in a place where he has too many options. And when he chooses right, it's great. But when he doesn't, it's just like, come on.
Alan pointed out during the game where Toomey was playing phenomenal off the ball as well. Yes. On the defensive side. If Bodley was pushing up a little bit too much, Toomey would track back and go and cover Bodley's spot, which Alan pointed that out. Alan, I don't know if you want to emphasize a little bit on that real quick.
Yeah, I think we get stuck in Toomey's offensive abilities that sometimes when he's defending, we don't always think of him as being that player. And so, I mean, he was really tenacious. I really liked, usually sometimes he gets a little like foul happy, right? He tries to recover and takes the guy out. There's a couple times where we mentioned that, but I thought he was more tenacious than that. He was a little bit less careless, but Bodley was going up and it left the space in behind, and Toomey was really smart to recognize and drop back to fill in that space that we were talking about. And so I liked Toomey's game. Like, was it spectacular? No. Does he have some competition after these substitutes? Absolutely, yes. Right? Kalia looked really good on the ball. And Nate Miller talked about that in the press conference, like why that is. But I think, Toomey's got some guys behind him who might take his starting spot, or it's like, hey, we got multiple guys who, when they get tired, we can put somebody in, and it's not a drop off, right? Like, there was not a huge drop. Now, after the 3 subs, we took a little dip, right? And that's where Phoenix had probably one of their better looks. And I was like, oh, they might tie this up. And so I was worried that Phoenix wasn't going to get one, right? And then, like, because it was after Loyal was like, I was like, oh, it's coming, right? I even told Tony, I was like, oh, I feel it's coming. That second goal's coming. That second goal's coming. And then Phoenix kind of pulled the game back, right? There was moments where Phoenix was controlling possession, was like looking like they were going to get one. Koke came up with a couple really nice saves, and then, Loyal got their second one, right? Like, there was a point in time in kind of that, like right where we are right here, like the 65th, 67th minute, where you're like, Phoenix is having some really nice moments. They're finding guys in pockets of space. They were really, I wouldn't say this one really testing Koke, but like if Harvey hits that better, that could be a goal.
I will interject real quick, Alan, and say that shot in particular was a little harder than people might think.
That shit was easy.
No. And again, I think Sal Zizzo also agrees with me in that take, just because he says that
often where it just slides under.
It often just slides under. That was perfectly timed. Wow. Shit. And it's true. It was a very powerful shot, low driven, and it really could have just gone under that null zone. But yeah, sorry. Like that was the beginning of his actually 2 biggest saves at this point in the match, because he had one right after, just in that same kind of transition.
Yeah, and I think that kind of speaks to why maybe Chiva doesn't like the 3 substitutes, right? They come in the 62nd, 63rd minute. Phoenix gets probably the best 2 looks that they have in that second half. Mm-hmm. Not that long after that. Koke comes up huge, right? Like, that's a hard shot, and he was like, no, sir. I know it kind of curves in toward him. It maybe makes that a little bit of an easier save.
Yeah.
But, that's a really hard to hit ball that he has to, like, make that save on, right? Because it comes in, if he boots it the wrong way, that could deflect. We're talking about the previous shot too, right?
Yes.
So Koke was really up for it that day. And that kind of in that 68th minute, that's where it really kind of, I was like, oh no. But the subs really pulled through, right? Like this is what makes Ronaldo so dangerous is he's up top, and even before he scores his goal, like they're playing into space and letting him run into it. And so there's always this outlet that is very dangerous.
Yeah, and I mean, the reason I don't like the 3 substitutions at once is because typically it takes a player 5, maybe 10 minutes to kind of get into the pace, settle into the game, right? And when you make 3 changes, it puts your team in a bit of a predicament. So that we saw that there when Alan was mentioning. But then Ronaldo just pulls some freaking magic out of his ass as well, which was a phenomenal shot.
Yeah, and I do think that a little bit of the substitution with Adams was he was injured. He had picked up a little bit of a knock on the hamstring. We talked to him a little bit after, and he seemed to be okay. Same thing with Ebby. Picked up a knock, had some ice on the left knee. And so I think both of them, they both walked off on their own power. They both walked up the hill. That's always a good sign.
Yeah.
So I think we shouldn't be too worried about that. I'll wait to get official word from my sources in the club as far as what the injury report will actually be. Because again, the injury report is always just
blank.
The injury report can mean somebody's injured or their pride is injured and they're no longer in the team or something, and then they just disappear in the playoffs. Herzog, but you know it's always a fun Boxall, who also made the national team for New Zealand. Shout out Nico Boxall, San Diego Loyal Open Cup legend.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna be hearing the "see" a lot more often at Terrell, right?
Yeah, I think that's
like 74th minute.
But
Damos does this.
Yeah, not just Damos, Collier,
yeah.
Where you see Collier right here.
Building up. Now for Damos. He'll take it.
Damos is on fire. So odd that he's number 8, but
because Blake Bodley got 7.
Thank
We're actually
you,
talking with Ricardo about that.
Thank
Like,
you,
hey,
Blake.
like, what's up with that? Like, well, it makes sense because Blake Bodley's here. This guy's on the loan, joining a long lineage of number 8s from San Diego Loyal, Sal Sizzo, and Ronaldo now. But yeah, no, it's exactly that what you're saying, right? Ronaldo is able to just
number 8.
Yeah, it's a outlet, as you're saying, Alan, for that midfield that is stacked, honestly. The midfield for San Diego Loyal has always been stacked, and I think that's why Thomas Among was so dangerous, right? And from what I saw yesterday from Collier is I'm really impressed with his play. He's not that big man that's going to hold up Peter Crouch. No. This is Peter Crouch if he had 5-star dribbling on FIFA. If he had... it's insane what this dude can do. He is huge. He is like you look at him, you're like, this guy's gonna run like Phillip Rivers in the pocket.
But then Nate Miller mentions it, right? It's just futsal background.
Yeah, and that as soon as he said, I'm like, yes,
that makes sense.
Explains everything. Because the way he's nimble about it, the way he stays on his feet is impressive.
Thank you, Nick Duffy, for the correction, and Alan. It wasn't Nico Boxall on the call-up. It's his brother.
Poco.
Poco, sí.
I didn't know he had a brother.
I didn't either, but
Damn.
It makes sense because Nico Boxall will not make that team ever again.
Yes, thank you.
I think Nick Duffy agrees on that one.
Nick.
By the way, Nick, I'm never going to let you forget that you said Nico Boxall could be better than Josh Jarro.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I'm never going to let you forget that one.
But right here, right? So you have Ronaldo just open. Like, you never do that. 1, 2. Collier is here. And the way he just nimbly dribbles between the players, and that's what futsal is. If you've ever played futsal, you know that it's these tight spaces and the ball control that really is king in those types of games. And we really saw this not just with the dribbling, but with that no-look pass. If this was...
I don't know if that's a no-look. I think he just...
No, it's a no-look. You'll see the thing. Like, it's still a no-look. Getting fouled or not, it's still a no-look. It's like a handball. If it hits the hand, it should be a handball. right, Alan?
Intentional.
So,
pass, no.
I think there's a couple things to point out about Collier's dribble, right? Like he is essentially taking 5 defenders out of this play, and then the heads up play to get Ronaldo the ball. But then the really smart move of Ronaldo, right? So if you look at who's watching him, like the dude on the left needs to be watching Ronaldo, not Collier. And so he's like sucking in all these defenders, and then he's going to touch it to his left. And Damas is going to be smart enough to know that everyone's moving to Ronaldo's left, and he's going to take it to his right. And then the sound that the ball made when Ronaldo kicked it was like, I'm feeling it still. Like it was, he put so much pace into it. Like it doesn't, like I watched it without sound. I'm like, how did he get that ball to sound that way? And he doesn't look like he kicks it hard, but that was a super powerful shot that it made quite a more remarkable sound.
And we do have that sound coming up on our little vlog. It's going to be different from weeks past. I've been really wanting to do this kind of style. I don't know if it's going to come out as I kind of want it, but it'll be interesting. But this is actually on there.
We trust you.
Shiva. You got a really good angle on this. And yeah, I mean, was it deflected? Was there a deflection?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe just a tiny little deflection, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough to really say that it was going to be off target. It hit the post and in. What more do you want?
Still a goal, man.
It's still a
great
really
goal.
good
It's
goal.
a great shot.
I mean, I think it definitely, it put it a little bit further to the goalkeeper's left. And so I think you see that in his reaction. Like, I still think that goes in, but it makes it impossible for him to get to when it deflects just barely. It like curves it just a little bit more and just enough to kiss the post and in. Like that shot's clearly on target, and it just gets spun a little bit further away from him, and it makes that save impossible.
So then we have this almost the end of the game action here. You have Camden Riley dribbling through the midfield, and then boom, here comes Collier. He's even said it with an American accent, Collier. This was the no-look pass, sorry, from Collier. Yeah.
That's Okay,
To Blake
that's more
Bodley
believable
over
for
on the
sure.
left with a 7. He celebrates with our good friends, good pals. And I'll say, credit where credit is due. My man right here, obviously in the left, Gama, fantastic individual, works for the club. Guy on the right, local guy. He's worked his way up from being a loyal ambassador, the street crew, to now going in and being at every training at the Olympic Training Center and handling stuff and getting mentored. So that is really great to see.
That's the boy.
I know the boy Kurt that presses the shirts, the jerseys at the office, at the shop. He's also one of the local boys who's really proud of his job. Every time he sees his jersey, he's like, this jersey I made. Ronaldo scored with the jersey that was in my hands earlier this week.
That's sick.
That's just taking pride in the work. So shout out to them. But yeah, I mean, Blake Bodley getting his goal in.
Great performance overall.
But I will point out, again, man of the match, Koke, sure. Clean sheet, 2 saves that are routine. I think they're routine.
I think you give it to him just because it's a back-to-back clean sheet, and now you recognize it, right? It's a 3-0 win. You're like, you know what? Let's give it to Koke because it's a second clean sheet in a row.
And just thinking about like this game back and watching the game back again is this play starts with who? Collier.
Yeah.
Like,
Applying
look
pressure.
at where he's at. Look at the time. Look at the like he's still going and pressing. He had just fouled and gotten a call that was, I don't think it was right. Again, some of the fumbles from the team, but he's the one that puts the pressure on. He's the one that gets this ball away and yeah.
At this point, they're kind of dropping back a little bit. It's the 89th minute, so you kind of want to defend your lead, maybe try to keep that clean sheet. So it makes sense that Damos is right there and Collier's up there. They're going to be your first defenders on those on that front line, right? So it does make sense that he's there, but eventually he wins the ball, and Camden Riley comes in. By the way, also great minutes by Camden Riley.
Improved so much. It's crazy.
But yeah, so they built this play really out of not much, and then Collier just, it's his anticipation that looked a lot better this week than last week, right? Last week he goes in and he kind of becomes the main focal point on top, and this time he kind of had that freedom to roam around. So if this is what we're going to get out of him, in that position, that's going to be a great player coming off the off the bench, or maybe even starting.
I mean, I think this also speaks to something that maybe we haven't seen a ton of from Loyal, is this ability to be this direct and be successful in this counterattacking kind of approach, right? It was we're going to wait and then exploit the weaknesses of Phoenix in their transition moments, right? And usually San Diego's been methodical, holding possession, right? In years past, that pass might have gone backwards, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's an intentionality of, when the space is there, take the space and be aggressive. And I like that approach, that this way you are going to be able to win some games that in years past maybe you haven't been able to win. And I mean, Damas on the pitch for 11 minutes gets his goal. I think the defense then starts to key in on him, and then it first frees up somebody else. And the fact that, Bodley is defender / midfielder, like he's got a pretty, I mean, it's not like he's got like lead boots. He's going to boot that over the top. Like maybe a little bit of a lucky bounce that it goes between the keeper's legs, right? Like that could have, maybe been a save, but that's, a nice touch and a nice moment for him, and, really put the nail in the coffin of a really nice game that, maybe a different game than most Loyal fans are used to seeing from them. But like, how cool is it to get a guy like Damas in and have an immediate impact, right? That's like ingratiates them. How cool is it for, Conway to get a goal in the second match, right? We saw how much Kyle Vassell was pressing last year, that Conway gets a goal in the second game. That's got to take a huge weight off of his shoulders, and now he can relax a little bit.
Especially after Nate Miller saying that he kind of does expect Conway to step up, right? So big on him for getting that. I mean, something you expect from your number 9. But yeah, 3-0 win. Great game. And now they go over next week, and they have to go over to Sacramento. And Sacramento are also undefeated, as everyone wants to say, undefeated 2 games in. With a win against El Paso Locomotive and on their first game. And then they tied against Charleston Battery, which was impressive, right on, because they had a red card from the first half.
Yeah, I think it showed Sacramento's fight in this one, right? Sacramento is going to be a tough match. Charleston, a better team than they were last year, so don't think this is last year's Charleston team. This is a better, more organized team. Ben Perman went to Charleston from, I think, 901 last year. And he's really kind of turned that program around. 1-0 on the road against El Paso. I mean, fine. This is going to be a tough match. And I think this is, like we talked about, Detroit to Phoenix is a step up, right? It's a newer test, probably a better team, like a test on the defense. This is going to be a test on can they play against a physical team that's going to make it tough for 90 minutes on the road, right? Like This is the first road test. Mm-hmm. Can they play as well on the road as they do at home? Can they react to what Sacramento's giving them and play the possession game if they need to, or play a defensive game and counterattack if they need to? And I think I would feel pretty confident going into that game if I was Loyal. Like we played a counterattacking style. We didn't need the ball the time we were direct. We can do that against Sacramento. Sacramento did get a red card, so they're not going to give up in a home game on their pitch. And they fought back. They're a physical team, and maybe not as strong as last year, but Sacramento is never going to be a joke. That's going to be a tough test.
Not only that, I mean, you're going from playing in front of 5,000 fans to now playing in front of
5,000 cows.
No, try 11,000 fans.
11,000
Sacramento's
cows.
known to having the best numbers of attendance in the USL. So that's going to be a real challenge for San Diego Loyal going on the first road game against a bigger crowd. So I'm excited to see what they're able to do. If they play anything like they played against Phoenix, it shouldn't be too difficult. I do think they're going to pull off a road win, and they're going to start off hot this season, but hopefully it's not the peak, right?
I mean, yeah, you don't want to peak in the third game, the second game, but I mean that's going to be an interesting matchup. It's always interesting to see Sacramento. I mean, it'll be fun to challenge this team with the club that made it to the final of the U.S. Open Cup. Maybe that's some sort of measuring stick too that you're going to have to start paying attention to coming up too. At the Sports Deck, STSU Sports Deck, San Diego Loyal versus Albion, formerly 1904.
Oh, yeah, April 5th.
Are you a fan of Albion?
Nah.
Alan?
Not a fan of Loyal either.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I have some like Albion was the first team I ever wrote a recap for. It was like not for them, but going to one of their games. I do have an Albion kit in my collection. I like the blue and white stripe. It was a nice look for them. I wouldn't say I'm like a fan, but I appreciate that they have a team that gives opportunities for players to play. If that's the most political answer I can give.
That is, yeah, no, I was waiting for the, but no, man, that's fair, right? That's as fair as it gets because they are a good team. They are probably one, if not the most important team other than Phoenix in the West, historically speaking, in the USL.
I mean, it sucks that they moved it from April 4th to April 5th.
The Albion game?
Yeah.
We're not talking about the Albion game.
I am
anymore.
So.
It's it'll be fun to get there. So did we predict last game?
I don't think we did, and someone asked us.
I said 3-0, so.
I mean, it's crazy because I remember that.
I said 3-0
you and I
for the
agreed
first game.
3-0. You and I said 3-0. I think Chiva was the
I
one
think they
that,
said 3-0. They lose, right?
Yeah, you were the one that was like very negative
yeah.
For San Diego Loyal. So
predictions for this one, gentlemen?
Ooh.
I'll go first. I think Loyal don't get a clean sheet.
That sounds like you asked yourself.
But I'm thinking it's going to be a 2-1 win. Solid road win, 2-1. Ronaldo scores again.
Okay. Does he start?
I don't think he'll start yet. Okay. But I do think Joe Corona gets his first USL game goal.
All right. Calling your shot. Alan, do you have any
Of a penalty.
Inclination? Of a penalty?
Of a penalty.
We're oddly specific here.
Yeah.
On
the left side, second half.
I'm gonna go with a 2-0 victory.
Another clean sheet.
Oh wow.
I think we just kind of ride this momentum for a moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Solid. Boo! They got a tie, huh? You're gonna say tie.
They are going to have a great showing, but maybe because again, this team isn't perfect for any stretch of the imagination. I think Nate would also agree on that. We saw Phoenix utilize and exploit a lot of that right side and just the las bandas a lot in this last match, but to their credit, they didn't allow a goal. It was a clean sheet, but there were times where they struggled. And I think that's when we saw Phoenix capitalize a little bit more in that second half. It was happening all the time in the first half. In the first half, like Phoenix was the team. I really thought they were going to score first for a lot of that first half. But if they're defensively sound, Kyle Adams no longer on the team right now. You have Kazansu coming up.
No clean sheet.
You have Kazansu coming in. Kazansu is maybe has better qualities.
Hopefully, Ebby's good
ways.
To go too.
Hopefully, Ebby's 100%. If not,
you play Camden Riley, or you adapt to something else, or Elijah maybe as a center back. But
we've done that before. So all in all, to say that I think San Diego Loyal manages to get themselves 3 points. They'll go ahead and get themselves at 3 points. This offense from game 1, game 2, if it's more like game 2, I'll say it's a 3-1, not a clean sheet. I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I can see this going into a tie maybe. But you're right, Alan. I think they ride the momentum into the next home game, hopefully. It's going to be against Tulsa coming on down, so get your tickets with Weston. Hi, Weston. It's weird hearing your name in your ear when you're driving down selling tickets. But yeah, I mean
they will have a game in Phoenix in between those two.
Yes, they will.
They are opening Phoenix's new stadium, which is going to be Like
April
of these first 5 matches, I think that's the hardest one. I think that's you're playing on the road in Phoenix where you've had some success, but they're opening their stadium. They're going to be like, they want to avenge this 3-0 because I think their thing was like, does it flatter San Diego? And I think it does a little bit. Like, I don't think it was a 3-0 game.
Mm-hmm.
Live stream is the best. But I do, I think that's the tougher test of the two of the Sacramento Phoenix of that swing.
I'd love to hear predictions in the comments as well. Like this is your space as well.
Sure.
It is the liveliest of the streams.
Yeah, no, and then you're gonna have 3 San Diego soccer teams playing April 1st, essentially at the same time. Gabby, you have the Soccers at 7:05.
Yeah.
You have Wave at 7, and you have Loyal playing away at 7:30 p.m. So a lot of San Diego soccer April 1st around the same 2 hours and a half.
I've had Coque fever. Like there is no
Alan's in
like
love
there's
with Coque.
There's no shot for that. There's no like pill you're taking to cure that. Like once you get it, it's like it becomes part of you.
Call me an eavesdropper, but I'm good at like whispering directly to people with nobody else hearing, even though they're very close.
Yes, you are.
Just like I'm very good at listening, maybe eavesdropping, but listening to a lot of things at once. I heard about 3 people post-match because we were waiting for Coque, who, by the way, signed every single autograph.
Yeah.
Like, and he apologized when he came in. He's like, oh, perdón, es que estaban todos los autógrafos. And I'm like, dude, no, stop. This is how you get people to really think of you as a person, as somebody who's real, right? Like, because you look at Coque and the comments that I heard at post-match was 3 different people. One of them was to Landon Donovan post-match. Was like, that goalie's hair is really good. Like it's really on point. So I mean, two older ladies and then one not so older lady was also like, oh, hachi mama.
I have to disagree though. Like his hair was like a little
shit.
bit different.
Alan did say, wow, he changed his hairstyle.
He changed his hairstyle up a little bit. It's like less jelly up at the top. It was like, I mean, again. Whew.
No, you know why?
It's like, oh,
no, you know.
Jesus Christ.
No, we look. This is. I'll show you why he was a little less jelly, as you said. Boom.
Because it was raining. Oh, because of the beer.
Yeah.
That's why, Alan.
Yeah, I was like, I got a whiff. I was like, woo. That smells like beer.
Great to see that. I think the last player that did this was Kyle Vassell.
Yeah.
Like he just poured some of the beer on him. And then I think after that, Travis said, no more expensive beer.
Yeah, that's you want to pay like $25 for a growler and have them just spray it all over themselves. I mean, shout out to Wave for starting. Like they start this week, right? They play this Saturday. And then congratulations to the Soccers. I know the Supporters Shield for them is like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Like we're about the cup, and I get it. Like Craig Charles very, very like sarcastic, very like about the Supporters Shield, but hey, like you're the best team in the regular season. Congratulations to them. The St. Patrick's Day kits look great.
Yep.
Yeah, and they won the second half of the past 2 two games. So like they're playing better. So there's some really, really, really nice soccer happening in San Diego right now.
I'm just trying to cover it all.
And trying to do the best. Check out San Diego.Football. But one thing I will say about Coque Vegas' post-match conference is that he is learning the English language incredibly seriously.
He understood all the questions.
Our friend from Loyal was there and usually translates for him. And at the end of the day, he was like, "Hey man, like I got you." He was walking over from signing 100 million autographs. It's like, "Hey, I got you. I'll go ahead and you just answer and I'll do this." He's like, "No. Tú nomás dime y yo nomás te escucho y yo les entiendo en inglés. Pero sí, yo le voy a contestar en español y pues ahí tú le traduces." And that's exactly what he did. He just heard all the questions in English and then immediately back in Spanish, but that's that comprehension. So congratulations, Coque. Man of the match, and
Shout out to the loyal worker as well for translating the English question.
Yeah. How was this game, Koke? He says, how was this the game? Did you enjoy the game? Was it?
No, so like they asked in English, and then Koke answers, and he says, "Well, the question was this," and we're like, "We know the question. It was in English." I think he was just on a roll.
I love him. Love him. Shout out, Mr. Orozco.
Yeah, he was, and some of those were not like, how do you feel about the game? They were like pretty in-depth questions that he was able to. It made me giggle that his answers always started with bueno.
Bueno.
No, bueno.
Bueno.
What does bueno mean, Alan?
It means good.
But not in the context he's using it.
It's more like
right.
well,
yeah.
Well, you see,
like,
well.
That's why I was like confused. I was like, why is he saying like good?
It's saying like well in that context.
Yeah.
You know the Spanish language is very.
But it made me giggle because it was like bueno.
Bueno.
I was like, well, I'm glad you think that person's question was good. Bueno.
So yeah, you hear it right here, actually.
Coach Miller has expressed that defending has been your primary focus so far in training. What does it mean to you and to the team that you're seeing this?
Take a shot every time he says bueno.
Bueno,
Bueno.
Let's see if I can find another one.
con la portería cero y
but like
creo que
that
aparte de
voice.
desarrollar un juego bonito como lo hemos hecho siempre.
Nosotros tiene una voz hermosa.
Yeah, because I asked him like, hey, like you're usually well known for being really good with your feet. Everybody talks about, oh, his footwork is this when he gets the ball, fantastic. But your stops get overlooked sometimes. As your job as a goalkeeper is to stop the shot, and so he got a chance to showcase that.
Why are you translating? Let Ivan translate.
Mejorar. Creo que se ha hecho un buen trabajo en
What are you
pretender
doing his job for?
un juego bonito como lo hemos hecho siempre. Ahora encima pues estamos teniendo una solidez que es clave si queremos hacer algo a lo largo de la temporada.
I can't wait for
Oh,
this.
by the way, I interrupt here.
You do interrupt.
I do.
Fucking rookie.
Es evidentemente un gran
I
paso
forgot he was
que
gonna
damos tanto a nivel
translate.
individual y al equipo a nivel colectivo.
Oh.
I'm like, oh wait, that's right. You gotta translate.
Ha habido una Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Like, I understood his answer. Why do we need to wait? For
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
translation?
Exactly.
I'm
Everyone
good.
else should just speak Spanish and learn Spanish. Jeez.
We're trying. We're trying.
Hurry up! It's been 4 years.
Made that we have to get better on defense, and it's starting to show that we're getting better at defense. On a personal level, I
Focus
started
translating
getting
his eyes like,
comfortable
yes.
better on this.
I did say that.
See?
He's like, wait, I didn't
See?
say that.
See?
Ooh.
See?
Mm.
I smell like cerveza. See? See? Me tengo que
Ya me
echar
quiero
una ducha.
bañar,
Me
una
quiero
ducha.
bañar.
I should
Take a
use
shower.
more gel in my hair.
Por supuesto. O sea,
Oh, no bueno. Por supuesto.
Por supuesto.
Greg,
I didn't get a freaking bueno. Thanks. Jeez.
Yeah, you interrupted. You don't get a bueno.
guess
Malo.
not.
Malo, Alan.
Malo.
Mucho
Muy
malo.
malo. Mucho malo.
You're gonna know bueno. Is
No
what
bueno.
You're gonna get all the buenos for everybody. So
But anyways, Alan, I don't think we'll see you in person until
I don't know. When are you going to see you in person?
No.
Did you get credentialed for
April
Wave?
5th.
Because we didn't. For the
I
season.
have not asked. Yeah, probably April 5th.
April 5th.
Because Loyal's hosting. I guess we have to wait for credentialing things for US Open. But I will be driving home that evening to watch Loyal play in the Open Cup.
Perfect. That's going to be a good day here in San Diego.
Birthday game.
It is your birthday that
Yeah,
day?
That day.
What?
I know.
It's
Sucks.
gonna be your birthday on the Open match.
Yep.
Nice.
Where do I have that one? There we go.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Birthday game for me.
Shout out to certain podcasts that I learned of Alan Underwood's existence, reverence. You know which one?
I don't know what you're talking about. No, we'll have
It's
to
fair,
have
it's
a
very
celebratory.
fair that you don't know what he's talking about.
It is. The weather's been
This
very
weather-
weird.
The weather- yeah, the weather has been not fair at all.
It's been a good podcast, guys.
Yeah.
We'll have to. I was gonna say was gonna buy you a beverage, but we don't get those things anymore. So I'm not gonna. I'll buy you a lemonade next time. How about that?
He needs to come out with sugar-free lemonade. Not gonna lie, so I can enjoy my lemonades again. Doctor
what
said
do you-
no more lemonades. It was like,
Damn.
"You're a lemonade guy, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, how'd you know?"
Breaking
and it
news.
was like, well, no more lemonades for you, bud. I was like, oh no. But you can enjoy a lemonade at Torero anytime, Alan, on me. I'm going to go ahead and have that vlog later on, but I mean, that's what we have for San Diego and Loyola today. So, Alan, get some night sleep, get some rest. You deserve it.
I will try.
Thank you for defending the honor of teachers in California.
I will I do my best. They're on spring break this week, so there's a little bit less honor fighting, a little bit more like, I'm going to get caught up and do some bigger projects.
Hell yeah.
And get chocolate wasted.
Hell yeah. I'm down for
Gentlemen, it was a pleasure seeing both of you this weekend, and take care.
You too.
Have
love
a fair week.
Stupid. All right. The great and powerful Alan Underwood. I mean, I know he talks about, like, you know, DK and this, but he knows his shit with USL. So I was really happy to go on the transfer market and be like, hey, come on down.
He almost put his 2 weeks. He almost put his 2 weeks on the game. So.
No, this, I didn't mention it. This dude, like, I have my knee, like, leg just up, and, like, out of nowhere, like, knees me in the back of my knee.
You thought it was me? You were about to suck the shit out of me.
I was about to destroy you.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, tranquilo, viejo.
And then I was, like, losing his shit over here. I'm like, you okay, cool. Like, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. He's done that
has scooped me, bro.
Oh, man, Alan has some balls on him.
He has scooped me, bro.
He's got the balls on him.
Truck.
He sees you as a little brother.
Maybe.
I wonder what the fuck he sees me as. His son.
I really like this guy.
Boy, you like your voice a lot.
Why did I have a podcast? Why do I have headphones to listen to myself? I'm the first one that listens to 2 balls and a mic. All right?
Yeah. Hector Trujillo has his notifications on everywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a little obsessed. With you, actually. I am convinced the boy Hector has a box on his phone.
Uh-huh.
Like an photo album of just pictures of you.
Yeah, next to the one with Jerry Jimenez.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm glad he doesn't have one of me. But yeah, Wave didn't credential us. But they do have a home opener this Saturday, and hopefully we're able to be there.
They had a preseason match.
They did have a preseason match.
And so this was exclusively for season ticket holders, and some intel that we might be able to get a little bit more out of at Young the Ryan. I don't know if he was there that day, but I think the most important news is that Soapy Joe's.
That.
Soapy Joe's is once again a sponsor of local San Diego soccer. So
car washes maybe on clean sheets. Is that back?
Maybe having Kalen Sheridan give us a couple of those along with Lauren Brisky.
God knows Austin Guerrero couldn't get as many.
He could. He actually, I did the math. He got us 2.
He got us 2.
He was.
Cookie would have gotten us 2 already.
Well, he would have had the team not lost a sponsorship or whatever. Which I don't know. Like there are some wacky things happening.
Known to losing sponsorships.
Oh shit. I mean,
3 years in a row, three different fronts.
The mariachi thing was cool, and if that's the new intro for the rest of the season, dope. I don't know what. Let's look it up. That's what I was going to look up earlier. What Mexican holidays fall in March? No wonder they had a mariachi. It's the birthday of Don Benito Juarez, who was on the 10 peso. ¿Sabes qué, Loyal?
They fucking...
Because if it wasn't for Benito Juarez's day, I have no fucking idea why you had a mariachi there. Sure. Like, I get it. But I all right. Trust me.
Stop being so negative.
Stop being so negative.
You're being so negative right now,
negative
bro.
right now.
That's
Why are
cool.
you done? San Diego soccer is the best, man. We got the wave, bruh.
Chill like that, bro.
Chill like that, bro.
Chill like that, bro. Yeah.
Stupid.
San Diego Wave. They tied in the preseason 2-2. Amira at least scored 2 goals.
Yep.
Who, if she stays healthy, she will be a weapon for sure this year.
Weapon.
So hopefully she stays healthy. Carly Telford was her last game.
So actually, technically speaking, San Diego Waves new number 2 goalkeeper, probably starting goalkeeper when Kaylin Sheridan goes on to international break / the World Cup. Starting goalkeeper eventually for San Diego Wave, Lauren Brisky, making her appearance in 2 balls and a mic.
When she gets her debut.
Check that out. I'm going to put
that interview. Oh, wow. She's getting her start. Look at this interview. We did ask her, are you excited
beginnings.
For that? No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that shit. But yeah, anything else local?
Anything else local? I mean, we'll cover a little bit with Ryan. There was some
for sure
some sound that came out. I think we want to hear. Do you want to hear that sound? I don't think you've heard the sound.
The trumpet from
No, not that sound. The sound from Amira Ali and Coach Casey Stoney.
Nah, I'm fine.
Final preseason match before heading into the regular season. How you feel?
Yeah, I think really positive display. I think the fact that Amira's got 2 goals.
What a question.
Well, what a question and what audio quality, because Snapdragon is a booming with
I'm good.
So good test today, home ground. How'd it feel?
It felt amazing to get back on the field, back here in Snapdragon with our season ticket holders here with us. Just being back with the girls, it's amazing. So having to get a full 90 under our belt and be ready for the season.
Next weekend, home opener. What are you guys looking forward to most?
Just playing like how we normally play. We're ready to get the ball rolling with a win, so I think that's the biggest thing for us. Competing, sticking to our game plan, and coming out with a win to get the ball rolling for the season.
How did it feel to snag 2 goals today?
It felt great. I mean, warm-ups were not the best for me shooting-wise, so I think
that's
was really
very honest. I've never heard a player say that. I've never heard a player admit, in the soccer at least, like my warm-ups weren't on point. Like wow, that's
very
crazy.
Honest.
I love it.
Athlete.
We'll definitely get into more Wave with @YoungLaRyan tomorrow.
For sure.
But in any case, that's kind of what we have for the boys deleting it. Oh, look at that. For local soccer, because there is, believe it or not, soccer happening in other parts of the world.
No way.
No way, bro.
Oh, no way. Yeah, we had the Champions League draw. So we had the teams advancing. I mean, let's talk about the games. The Tuesday and Wednesday of the second round, right? Man City destroying Leipzig 7-0, and then Erling Haaland scoring 5 goals. Like, the guy's a machine. Like, what else is there to say about Erling Haaland? Can you say anything else about Erling Haaland? Besides, he was in the Viking season before scoring 5 goals. He wasn't, but he looks like one.
Are you okay? Did you have a stroke right now?
No.
Oh, all right.
I mean, I'm
so
asking
things
you.
that you're pulling. No, I mean, Man City is still a favorite. They have to win. They have to win a Champions League. If not, Pep's whole stint at Man City was a flop.
Yeah. Same thing with his time at Bayern.
And I welcome him to Chelsea after he gets sacked, because that's the one coach that you want. I got to change the culture, right?
Yeah, and I mean, technically, you guys don't really need to win the Champions League for another 5-6 years.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you guys just won it, so you don't have to win it for another.
No,
5
we're
years.
gonna win it this year. So the draw did happen, and so guess what, guys? It's happening. Last time Chelsea won the Champions League, like I predicted, that same year was the same year that Chelsea ended up defeating, which everybody thought, oh, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Guess what? It's gonna happen, and they're gonna beat Real Madrid once again in this. ¿Qué son cuartos?
Cuartos de final, yeah. Yeah, so the draw happened, right? So we have Benfica against Inter. I kind of want to see Chelsea play Benfica just for that Enzo playing against his old team rivalry, but it's fine. Inter gets Benfica, so that's going to be, like, interesting to watch. You have Man City against Bayern Munich. That's going to be a good one. Technically, it's the 2 favorites.
Yeah.
If you're talking statistics-wise, whoever wins this one should be winning the Champions League.
Yeah, I do love talking statistics.
Set statistics. Real Madrid, Chelsea. Yeah, Real Madrid.
You can't fully say
they can't win La Liga anymore. They flopped it in the Clasico, and their main focus will be on this now. So who knows? The same thing. Chelsea's main focus is Champions League, so that's going to be an exciting game to watch for sure.
Chelsea's winning the Champions League.
And then you have Milan against Napoli. Napoli, who are arguably one of the best teams in Europe, but this is going to be a fun one to watch for sure. But I kind of wanted them to see a big team to see how good they are, but maybe in the semifinals. Because I do think they'll beat Milan. Do you want to say maybe who wins? Who goes to the semifinals?
Not yet. There's still time. It's still not until April or something.
11th,
so
yeah.
I think there's still time. We'll hold off on predictions. We'll see
But
how
this is the
how they do.
quarterfinals.
This is what we have right now.
Yeah.
And this is where we're gonna go for this year. It'd be interesting. I see AC Milan there. Zlatan still scoring. 41-year-old. He's now become the oldest scorer in Serie A history.
Yes, he has.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, I look over, right? Benfica, Benfica quien, güey. Look over Napoli. We know how to beat Napoli in the Champions League. Inter, all right. Sure, you copied our colors. Dope. AC Milan is probably the other way around, just historically speaking. AC Milan, you're barely getting back into Europe again.
So who are you scared of?
Who am I scared of?
City and Bayern, but they have to face each other.
I think the team that I'm most afraid of in the Champions League for Chelsea
Yourselves.
is gonna be Chelsea. Like
Yeah.
if you look up into the mirror, this is a scary
Your
ass team.
coach.
Yeah, Potter. Like I think that's our worst enemy at this point. But now we'll get into a little bit
You
later.
guys have been getting
with
a
that.
bit of a run lately, but you guys did tie to Everton, so kind of went back to reality. Europa League, let's just point out real quick, Man United advanced, and they're facing Sevilla, who historically in the Europa League have kicked Man United's ass. So I'm a little concerned. I'm a little nervous about this one. Can we point out that Arsenal got eliminated by Sporting, and Sporting scored a freaking banger of a goal from midfield.
That's how you welcome the president of San Diego Loyal whenever you see him. It's just with their unfortunate demise of
100%.
of their team. It's like, hey, how you doing?
I
Hey,
give the same energy back, and he always talks smack about Man U. So, yeah, they're out of the Europa League. Fucking sad. So Europa League has Feyenoord against Roma, which we could potentially see Man United against Roma in the final. And that would be Jose Mourinho against Man U in the Europa League final.
Jose
That'd be pretty
Mourinho.
cool. That would be pretty cool. That's all I'm saying.
That would be dope.
So yeah, Feyenoord Roma, Juventus Sporting, Man U, Sevilla, and Bayer Leverkusen against Union Saint Gil.
Saying what?
Saint Gil? Something. Saint Giloise? How do you pronounce that?
How do you
Tony?
pronounce that, boy?
I don't know Sabo, way.
How do you pronounce that?
I don't know. I legit don't know.
Royal Union. ¿De dónde son? Where are they from? They're Germany?
Maybe. I don't know.
They're Royal Union Saint Louisville.
Louisville. Yeah, that's the Europa League draw. We had some good games this weekend, Tony. And I just want to say the Bayer Leverkusen game against Bayern Munich was pretty crazy because it's the first time something like this happens.
Xabi Alonso, man. Xabi Alonso, the coach of the century, I guess.
So Bayern Munich is up 1-0. Kimmich scores. Everything's going good. And then you have a foul in the box for Leverkusen. And it's number 21. What's his last name again?
Numero 21. Adli?
Yeah. What is it? Abli?
Yeah.
So he gets fouled, and the ref goes and gives him a yellow card for simulation, saying, oh, you're trying to trick me. You dove. Ref goes to check VAR, and Pavard actually stepped and takes off his cleat in the box. And the ref goes, yellow card? No. Penalty. Cool. Palacio scores the penalty, and they go. Like, he's literally like, dude, he took off my cleat. And he, like, throws the cleat on the ground, and he's pissed. So the ref checks it. He says, you're good. No yellow card. It is a penalty. Tied game 1-1.
Check VAR, Lisa. Check
Yeah,
VAR.
check it. This was in the 55th minute. 73rd minute, he gets fouled again in the box, and the ref
he
says...
scores the goal. Yeah, let's get there.
Yeah,
So
that I said. Palacio
yes,
scores
yes.
the penalty. 73rd minute, he gets fouled again. Ref goes, you try to dive again. Here's your yellow card. The guy said again, same player, athlete says, no, go check VAR, dude. I got fouled. Goes, checks it, and there is contact. You can see there's going to be contact. We can't play the video because, copyrights. But there's contact. Ref says, penalty, yellow card, no. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned to me before, is this the first time a player gets 2 yellow cards?
It's not.
But doesn't get a red card. Yep. And we talked about it, we said, no, to the 2006 World Cup.
It happened. It happened where a player got 2 yellow cards and stayed on the field for the rest of the match. But I hate VAR.
Ain't that some shit?
I don't like VAR for this. Like, let it roll. And I guess
get the calls right. And Bayern Munich lost, and now Dortmund is in the title race, and they're in first place for the first time since 2015, 2016.
That's wild.
Yeah, so VAR working wonders here.
I mean, wonders is one word for it, I guess, but I really just don't like VAR.
Another big game we had was the Clasico Barça against Real Madrid.
Yeah. And
this was definitely kind of like the title race game, right? Barca,
as it usually is. I'm glad to see this.
Yes, exactly. Barca, I mean, was already had a strong lead, but with this win in the 92nd minute by Kessié, literally expands the lead by 12 points.
I mean, talk about an unlikely hero, right? Kessié.
Wonderful opportunity and a goal for Barcelona.
Which in January, I saw a report that 3 big European clubs wanted Kessié because Barca needed to sell players. It's right over here. That's a big ass fucking zancudo. Ah!
Yeah, I think it will be in. It will be.
No!
They think it is as well. Everybody's ran down to celebrate with Frank Kessie.
What are you doing?
Xavi was on the pitch. The manager celebrating.
What are you doing?
You said you thought someone was going to score even though there's only a couple of minutes left. You were right.
You didn't even kill the bug.
Está allá. Where? Acá. Oh, my savior. Again, we're in a garage.
I'd like to go ahead and apologize to the good people of PETA, and would like to submit this peace offering. I'll meet you at the local deli, and we can split a ham sandwich over it. But yeah, so I mean, Barcelona, Real Madrid coming back in the top of the top of what it should be, world soccer, and I'm always a person that says I like classic teams playing classic games in classic ways, and I think this is kind of going back into that, the next generation of this Clasico, where you think of Clásicos of Iniesta, Xavi, and even before with Figo and the Ronaldo's original El Fenomeno, but it's good to see the quality and the fervor and just the passion coming back
for sure
for this. So great.
Barca's gonna take La Liga. Do they give up a 12-point lead?
I don't think so, especially at this point. But then you look at Arsenal. Are they going to give up a 9-point lead, 8-point lead, whatever the fuck they have?
They could. They very really much could. They really well could.
Damn well could.
Yeah.
And probably, hopefully, will.
Yeah. And then those are the biggest games we had this weekend, Tony. And I think there's one more thing you want to talk about.
Is that it?
That is it. Can't recall any other games this week. What are you?
Oh, fuck.
I need a bathroom break.
You're not allowed in my bathroom. Oh, wait. Oh, golazo. Was that? Did I just see the boy? Ronaldo.
Pinche cabecita, güey. Nos chingó. Jugamos pa' la mierda. No sé qué más decir. We freaking sucked. You know why we lost? Can I say why we lost? Because a certain someone from 109 flew all the way to Guadalajara instead of being on 109 to watch this game. And that's why we lost. Thank you, Presidente. Thank you, Presidente Kevin. We lost because of you.
Watch out. He might shove you down the flight of stairs.
Me agarra madrazos, güey, but that's why we lost, man. I hope you had fun.
It was fun for a couple people over there, not Chivas fans. at all.
Bro, you know
Game
what?
ended up being 4-0.
We're still going to make
4-2.
Liguilla. We're still going to make an impact.
This is your version of you saying Chelsea's going to win the Champions League.
It is 100%. I don't think we're going to win the league, but like Andrew Vasiliades said, if we reach the Western Conference Finals, that's success. And if Chivas get to the semifinals, that's success.
So just to kind of take us here down to the last portion of the show.
Your new favorite segment.
New favorite segment. And this is actually comes from, again, our good friend who's in Wisconsin, who, along with Mike, who's not with us right now, he's on assignment for San Diego Punto Fútbol.
Anda crudo ahorita.
That's Miguel.
Oh, that's Miguel. Miguel anda
That's
pedo.
fucking racist of you.
Perdón, Miguel.
We have something that we did last time was we asked, Miguelito, our intern, asked ChatGPT for an article talking about San Diego Loyal's first win here at home. Well, we have asked Miguelito and Drew to do the same thing. And this time, ChatGPT spouted a romance novel. This live stream is the best. About soccer in San Diego. As the sun began to set over the San Diego skyline, Mia stepped onto the soccer field with a sense of excitement and anticipation. She had always loved the game, but there was something about playing in San Diego that made it all the more special. The warm breeze blowing from the ocean, the scent of the fresh-cut grass, and the roar of the crowd all combined to create an atmosphere that was nothing short of magical. As she laced up her cleats and stretched her legs, she couldn't help but notice the handsome stranger standing on the sidelines. He was tall and muscular, with piercing blue eyes, with a winning smile that made her heart skip a beat. Mia had always been drawn to the confident, athletic men, and there was something about him that seemed to radiate strength and power. As she warmed up with her teammates, Mia could feel the gaze on her as she couldn't help but blush. She had always been self-conscious about her looks, but something about the way he looked at her made her feel beautiful and desirable. As the game got underway, Mia found herself playing with a sense of determination and passion she had never felt before. She was playing for herself, but also for him, the handsome stranger who had captured her heart. With every pass and every shot, she could feel his eyes on her. She played with a confidence and a skill that surprised even herself. She could feel the chemistry between them growing stronger every minute they passed. And she knew that this was going to be more than just a game. It was the beginning of something special. As the final whistle blew and the game was coming to an end, Mia could barely contain her excitement. She had played her heart out, and she knew that she had seen it all. She turned to look at him onto the silence, but he was nowhere to be found. Feeling disappointed and defeated, Mia gathered her things and began to head over to the locker room. But just as she was about to leave the field, she felt a strong hand on her shoulder. She turned to see the handsome stranger standing behind her, a smile on his lips, a twinkle in his eye. That's your line. Go.
Great game,
he said, his voice deeply and husky.
You're an amazing player.
Not deeply husky. Mia felt her heart skip a beat and step closer, his eyes locked on hers.
I can't take my eyes off you.
He said, his voice filled with intensity.
I knew from the moment I saw you that you were something special.
Mia felt a surge of emotion rush through her as she looked into his eyes. She had never felt this way before, so alive, so free, so full of passion and desire. And as they kissed beneath the San Diego stars, wait, this game started in the day, now it's night, she knew that this was just the beginning of a love story that would last a lifetime.
It makes sense. That's beautiful. And it makes sense why it went to Doug. Because in the chat, they're saying the guy is Coque Vegas. And he was busy signing autographs. But Drew said that he's Mia.
We are all Mia at some point.
Especially for Koke.
Especially for the game of soccer. Maybe this is why we weren't credentialed for a wave.
Because we're just a podcast.
Season's greetings to everybody who has joined us in the chat, joined us for this last couple of hours, making us the #1 soccer podcast, the #1 soccer outlet in San Diego, hands down. Argue it, go for it. Alégalo. Bilingual, trilingual sometimes, doing commentary, San Diego Soccers, over at all the loyal games, over at all the wave games if they let us. And just in general, just covering everything soccer in San Diego. We have an episode with Ryan for San Diego Football, San Diego Football Weekly. That's going to be coming out with video this time. I'm about to sneeze, so tell them about Chelas con Chavos.
Yeah, we're also going to have Chelas con Chavos tomorrow. Salud, salud, salud. Check that video out later this week, probably dropping Wednesday as well. And yeah, we're going to be talking about different good points about Chavos, about 109. So definitely don't want to miss that one.
Yeah, hop on there. And so again, thank you for listening. Make sure you tell all your people, be a friend, tell a friend, subscribe. That's all we need you to do, subscribe. Follow us. We're almost to 1,000 on Instagram too. So do that too. Shout out to everybody. You guys are awesome. I'm going to stay here for a little bit. You're going to go home.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Fuck
Thank
out
you
of
guys
here.
for watching.
Fuck out of here.